It's
is
wrong
quite
to
good,
judge
though.
a show off one episode. I love the fucking way it controls though, and it's just like you have the analog sticks on the guns, and you have like the two guns, and you're moving around. But you can like slap the guns together and combine them into a better gun, or you can like put them on top of each other and use another weapon. So you slam them together. And I'm like, oh, it's so sick! I love it. I want to go play that, but I can't.
That's pretty good.
If I could buy an arcade machine of it, I fucking would.
This is today's disclaimer. That's it. That's all I've got. No, I'm kidding. As normal, there will be swearing. We will spoil things. We'll probably... So I rephrase that. Jordan will probably say things that are religiously, politically, or just generally incorrect. Please be aware. But continue watching anyway, because we will broaden your worldly horizons. Fuck yes.
That was very rude. Why would it be incorrect?
Because you're always politically incorrect.
Politically and religiously, you shed. So, that means that basically everything that anyone says ever is wrong. You can't be both. At all. Just not possible. But anyway, welcome to the Senpai PP Pistachio Podcast.
Pistachio.
What's a pistachio again?
No, a pistachio is a nut.
Close enough. Essentially the Nut Podcast, which is relatively accurate. I mean, yeah. I'm Jordan, owner of Senpai.co.uk and other things. And joining Dav today is me, but we'll introduce Dav anyway. So
Dav is the best.
Dav is 0 out of 10.
I'm best out of 10.
No, Dav is 0 out of 10. Would do a podcast with again.
This is true. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 14.
14.
Yeah, I got it right. That's cool. Episode 14. I'm Dave. It's not unlikely I'd change my name, but you never know. I could be Captain Banana Hammock next week.
Why not just remove the E?
What, and just be Dav?
Yeah, Dav's a much better name.
Just remove the whole name and just change it to D.
But that's not the whole name. That's the majority of the name, but not all of it.
So?
So you won't be removing the whole name.
No, it's fine. Life will go on. But yeah, I'm Dave, owner of weebculture.co.uk, which is still currently in... I'm trying to think of the word. The build stage, time restrictions and stuff. You know, June will be the time where I actually put some serious time into it and help Jordan get the podcast side of stuff up and running. But yeah, I'm just a big weeb. Jordan's a slightly less weeby guy. He draws hentai though, so...
Am I a slightly less weeby guy? I think that I surpassed you in multiple ways.
Yeah.
I mean, for starters, you have a social life, so I think I've already got you beat.
That's
anyone who has a social life can't truly be at the pinnacle of weeb.
the pinnacle of weeb. There's nothing else, just weeb pinnacle.
Yeah.
I feel depressed.
I was expecting something else to happen, but or rather something more to be said, but
Were you?
No, not really. Anyway, so in terms of weekly updates, would you like to go first, Dave?
Yeah, sure, why not? John's a massive faggot, but everybody already knows.
What are you, a faggot or something?
Yeah, I know. Anti-fags, the AF Federation. I'm not, but you know, for Jordan, I am.
Wow.
Not a lot has happened. I received a Lucky Star pillow in the post the other day, which is to go to my girlfriend, because she has a thing with Lucky Star. So you know,
is she? Have I asked this before? But is she basically just female Damien? Because Damien has a thing for Lucky Star.
Yeah, but she has a slightly less quiet voice. She's loud.
Well, she's American, right?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, to be honest. Dum dum dum. She'll kill me if I ever say anything bad.
Is she a yandere though? Yandere best archetype and all, so
she is. She's more like tsundere. You know.
There's a big difference between yandere and tsundere.
Yeah, I know. But it's she could probably pull off both. I'll be honest with you.
Wow.
But no, everything's gone pretty well this week. To be fair, it's bank holiday weekend, so I haven't really got up to much. Done a few sketchy designs of what I want the website to look like in the future, I guess. But at the moment, I just don't have the time to do the coding, and I'm like, you know, I hate, if I'm going to do it, I don't want to be interrupted. I want to sit there all day and flesh it out rather than like do a little bit and then, you know, kind of like how I did the first one. Like I just powered through for a day, got it up, done. You know, just to get a rough idea of like where it started, and then decided to go minimalistic, like you suggested. So you know, it's one of those things. I just don't want to push it too much because it's like, you know, don't really want to.
Yep.
But you know, everything's apart from that. Yeah, no, everything's been pretty good. So I've got some stuff on the way from Army. Not a big order. I've got my Nyan type come in, and I've got my second year's Nyan type collection magazine, which is issue 2. I've already got issue 1. It's one I want to keep getting because it means I've got all the year's posters and stuff in one book. I know it's only on A4s, but it's nice having them as it's great reference material. I put it like that because of just the amount. I know it's all like fan service type, but you know, never mind.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be. It depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, I was gonna say an actual mango, like one manga alone would be great reference material because of the number of images, but it also depends on the sort of work you're trying to do. If you're just trying to do a regular drawing, then maybe not so much. You probably want something a bit more intricate than you would find. It's essentially just a still image of actual things going on rather than in the reference material you're on about, which would be, you know, like actually sort of in the same sense of people posing for a photo.
Yeah, exactly. So, but apart from that, no, everything's pretty good.
That was me trying to sound smart.
No, good luck with that.
Oh, you cheeky bugger!
Oh, matron. Oh.
Why?
So anyway,
why did we do that?
Yeah, why did you even bother?
Wow. Blaming me. Wow. So irresponsible for your own actions.
Maze.
You what?
You what, son? You want some?
No. I'm good.
No. That's not really very nice.
I know.
I'm sad now.
Suck it, nerd.
Like genuinely, like I hurt. I hurt for you.
For me, wow. So
hang on, wait. That doesn't sound really very good.
I know.
Like I hurt for you.
Just
like sorry.
Just
like,
calm down.
Yeah, like
I hurt people for you. Oh no.
Well, yeah, there is that, I guess.
I don't know what context you were thinking of.
Jordan just hurts himself.
No, I've actually never done that. I'm very proud of the fact.
Have you ever slapped yourself?
Well, I've never hurt myself through slapping myself. I'm a tough man.
A tough man.
I can take it. Come at me!
I'm a tough man. I can take it.
Speaking of there's some homemade cheesecake downstairs, and it's like because it's my birthday soon. I absolutely hate normal cake.
Yeah.
Basically, my mum was all like, "Oh, we're making this cheesecake for my brother-in-law when he came over." And she was like, you know what, I'll just fucking make a big cheesecake for your birthday rather than a regular cake. Because I actually like cheesecake, because it's not shit. And she made like 2 little ones, just like for the hell of it. Test the waters on. Because I suggested a Malteser one, because she did a Toblerone one, which you just melt the chocolate and mix it in. But with Maltesers, you got the like little round biscuit balls.
Yeah.
So like the Malteser chocolate bars, not the actual full-size ones. and it's like actually really good because obviously when you melt the chocolate, the biscuit doesn't exactly melt down, does it? So you get little bits of biscuit in.
This is true.
I would recommend it. Ingredients in the description, but no.
Oh days.
But yeah, was that your weekly update?
That was pretty much my weekly update.
Fair enough then. So I guess I'll move on to mine because basically everything shipped. It was really close because like it was a case of I probably would have. I think it was like £10 short because of the fact that I separated the orders. I think might have been why. So like shipping cost a little more.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure. And I was like, okay, well, I can't not get the altar figure because if I don't get that, like if that order gets cancelled, then I'm fucked and I'll never see it again. And then
How do you mean?
Huh?
How do you mean?
Because like obviously if I couldn't pay for it, then they're going to cancel the order.
Yeah.
And then when they cancel, it's not a case of they cancel it. It's a case of when the order's past due because it's happened like a couple of times before. Just for the hell of it, really. It's like, oh, I don't really want this, and I could spend the money on whatever else, which almost never happens anymore. But basically, I'll say payment past due, and at that point, the order still stands, but all the items are basically thrown back up for stock. So, like, if you buy it like a day after and someone already bought it and it's out of stock, then you can't get it, but all the other parts would probably still be there. And once it's all gone, then the order's cancelled. So in that case, then yeah. But with
I'm with you.
Yeah. So with the Alicia altar figure, keyword altar figure, if I didn't get that one, I would have been fucked. With the Charlotte one, considering it actually said like pre-order up until then and currently still says in stock, highly doubtful that would sell out at the very least. Even though I was really tempted to like trade it out for something else because the other one was kind of beautiful, but it was also a bit more, and they wouldn't let me, so fuck it. But basically, I was like, okay, can you like separate the orders? Because then I could get one. Plus, it wasn't airmail; it was SAL parcel. And I was like, I don't want SAL parcel because fuck that, it's slow, and the odds are really fucking high they'll go through customs and get import fees and shit. So I was like, can you like separate it so as the Symphogear book and my altar figure are in the same order and the Charlotte one separate? And then like if something happens, I can still get it. But like I'll still get like the book and the altar figure. They said sure.
So basically, you saying that you haven't got enough money to
no, I do. It's all paid for now.
Right.
It's just it's at the time I was like, can you separate it this way just in case?
Right.
Because like that, and because I don't get paid for the shirts usually until like around the 4th or later. So
right,
and that would have obviously taken it up to the right point. It's primarily because I bought a Kiba strip, which was kind of just like an impulse buy. Partially because I had £5 on my PSN anyway, and that actually sort of took it to the point that I wouldn't have been able to because I'm silly. Well, that's a known fact anyway. But but then they were like, yeah, okay, we'll separate them, but we're gonna just like only separate your altar figure and not the book. And I was like, because I want to get the book because that makes good reference material because it's a visual visual collection from Symphogear G, and I like Symphogear G's art style and stuff.
You just like G.
Well, being the gangster life is the life for me, of course. But yeah, basically, and then like stuff happened, so I actually do have enough, and I've made a Japan Center order because I had free delivery, which came with my last order, which was supposed to only be for standard, like flat standard, which is like £5.50 delivery. And then I was like, and then I went to do the order, and it was like, well, I can get the before noon standard delivery, which is £8. I was like, wait, you're actually letting me have that because I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to. So I went out, redid my order, added some melon bread, and it was still free delivery. So I saved £8.50 on delivery because they were cool.
No, that's not bad then.
Well, £8.50 in comparison to the fact that it was like, oh, your order has to be £25, and it's like that ratio is like pretty solid. That's like almost half. Well, it's like a third. Yeah, it's a third.
Yeah.
Which is great because fucking The only thing that stops me from getting my beloved melon pan is the fact that it's like you have to pay £8.50 for delivery. So I could get like one or two because they literally expire the day you get them.
Right.
So you can't really buy like a whole bunch and be like, oh, I've got stock right now. But
you could get a couple, but then...
Yeah, I got like two. And then other bits. But it's like, oh, you're essentially paying like £10 for one melon bread, which, I mean, to be fair, it's worth it. But... Because it's like £2 for the melon bread, which some people will be like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. Oh, if you get it in Japan, it's probably like 50 yen.
Yeah.
But fuck us, right? Well, I would say 100 yen would be a bit more accurate, I guess. Maybe 120. But yeah, other than that, basically everything's like shipped. So my Twin Tail fan book and the other bits, the card bits, are still in Langley, but it's also Easter like holidays, so it's understandable that they would still be in there at this point, considering I'm pretty sure they don't like operate over the 4 days, and then the other two are like coming into the country.
Oh, that's cool.
So everything's on its way. Everything's left Japan, so that's good. Other than that, in terms of shows I watched, I finished Lock Horizon 2, finished Testament, finished Nozaki-kun. I think... Did I mention Psychono last week? I can't remember if I finished it last week.
Do you know what? I can't actually remember.
I think I did. So Psychono's great though. Best show of last season, as far as I'm concerned, at the very least. In terms of shows I finished. Shows are still ongoing because of the fact that I'm watching the simuldub because I'm a lazy prick. Yuri Kuma Arashi, which I just started because with the Twin Tail of the Season votes, someone mentioned Lulu, who is secretly a bear.
Pardon?
Who is secretly a bear.
Huh.
And that sold me on the show.
So, a bear.
Yuri, there's Yuri in the show, and she's secretly a bear. And that sold me. Yuri and secret bears.
Fucking hell.
I mean, Yuri Kuma. You know, the name says it all. World Breaks, still going. Got up 6 on that. Junketsu no Maria is also still going. Shirobako I haven't like really watched much. Military I haven't really watched much, which is weird because it's like short episodes, so I could finish it within an hour if not sooner, probably. But the show's okay. It's not really that great. So D I haven't watched much of, so I'm still like on episode 2 of that, which is weird. And outside of that, I started DxD Born, Gunslinger Strauss, and Shokugeki no Soma, and Shokugeki is like show of the season so far.
Yeah.
Just because what I said in the pre-roll of this, basically, or probably did. Just to reiterate, women getting turned on by delicious food and splurging everywhere out of 10.
Oh, yeah, I remember we had this discussion about this, did we not?
Yeah, just episode... I love shows that are just, like, hype over really mundane shit. It's just like he's cooking, and I understand as someone who actually watches things about people cooking, because I like to cook also, but I can't do it on that level. Partially because I don't have the ingredients or all of the spices or anything. Our oven's not like a gas oven, so it's also kind of tricky to do in the sense that it doesn't heat up as fast or anything. Because with a gas oven, it's like flames, whereas ours, it's just like, here's a little hot...
It's like flames, but it's not flames.
It's not really flames, it's just like a hot circle, and then like the heat from there transfers onto it. Whereas with gas, it's direct flame on the pan, so the pan would most likely heat up faster, I would assume.
Love that flame on the pan.
Yeah, flam pan.
Flam pan.
Melon flam. Flan pan is actually a thing. You can get a pan that you make flan in. So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, just making everything work. But that's about it. I don't think I've actually received anything like in the mail that I can remember. I don't think I did. I sold an Android finally though, just because I didn't really want it. So my Attack on Titan one, at least, is what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Not fucking. Why would I ever want to? No one would want to get rid of Sakurai. That's just wrong.
I was like, what?
Fuck off! Am I going to get rid of Sakurai? But an Android one I did, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it's a friend's birthday." I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to draw you a little picture of a Chibi Misaka just for the hell of it." Mikasa, actually, not Misaka. What? I was like, I'll draw a little picture and then write happy birthday because I'm the best seller on eBay. I draw little pictures to go along with things I sell. That's about it though, pretty sure. Other than like the fact that I've taken a break from mangoes because I'm all like, you know what, this inking's really tedious and boring. And I'm all like, I'm going to try and like do a different style of inking. Not necessarily like shading because I love the tone. Like the screen tone look, but just like the sort of inking process, change that up. And in the meantime, I was drawing a hentai just cause secret though. No one actually knows, even though I literally just said. But I was like, you know what, I could really do with a project that requires more sort of in-depth detailed drawing because I don't like doing detailed things just sort of for no reason that don't like add to anything, I guess.
Yeah.
So apparently me and Joseph might work on a game, and it's like the best idea. Because basically hairstyles determine your class. It's like if you have twin tails, then you're like a dual wielder. If you have a ponytail, you're a lancer, etc., etc. And it's going to be great.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Because we also have archetypes, which are like the subclasses. And there are things I'm not going to mention because original concept do not steal. So get excited because I'm also going to have to like actually work on animation and stuff as we're planning. Otherwise, I know for a fact that it's not going to fucking go anywhere because of like the last 10 game design ideas I've made that don't go anywhere because I haven't actually done anything but plan for like 2 months. And it's like, well, this has moved nowhere at all, so... But yeah, that's actually it.
That's all for your weekly update.
Yeah, as far as I can recall. But so,
wow.
Do you have a featured anime?
A featured anime?
Yeah, featured anime.
One that's finished, I'm assuming.
Well, of course.
Because we had this discussion last time.
Yeah, it has to be finished. So I know what you're probably going to go for because I said you could probably do it next week.
Which one was that?
No idea, I just remembered I said you could do one next week.
Do you know what? I can't even remember which one it was.
I think it might have been World Break. But at the same time, I don't want you to because I haven't finished it.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing World Break, and I think I did that last time. Do you know what? We should really write down what we did.
Yeah, I think at some point we should go through because I've had that sort of issue too. So.
Yeah, I think we need to go through, listen to all the episodes, and actually make timestamps.
Well, not necessarily timestamps, but
no, because like so when we actually list them on the website, we can actually like we spoke about this from this point.
That is a lot of extra work, and if you want to go through it, then be my guest. But fuck that.
I probably will because to be fair, once we've done all the existing ones, the future ones won't actually take as long because we can literally mark it.
Yeah, I know. Except I don't want. Except at the same time, I don't want you to type it down because you're fucking keyboard.
Yeah, I need to get.
I mean, with your laptop, it probably isn't so bad, right?
No, it's not. I mean, it's like
actually, you could probably really. Really? So Dave just hung up on me. For those of you who want to know.
Do you know what? All I did was press the space bar and it hung up.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot.
It went doop, and I just went, whoops.
God damn it. It'd be interesting to hear what happened in the time that there was silence. But, yeah.
It was only a split
I was going to say, you could
so
also use, like, a phone or a tablet or anything, really. It doesn't have to be the system you're on to take notes, so...
Yeah, exactly. So I can do it on quite a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess once we got them all done, so it's not too bad.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so featured animus. Good luck to both of us.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a good lucker, this one, because I have no idea. I'm going to look at the updated and see what's roughly finished.
Wow.
I know old Noah finished.
I think that might be the one you spoke about last. I know you spoke about Old Nova at some point.
It's possible.
Why can't you just pick like an old show, like not just finished airing?
Do you know what? I'll do Fantasista Dolls because I think it's not one people normally peg for a I say a good anime, but it's not one people would normally, I suppose, think of. And I mean, I think
I can agree with that because I don't normally think of it. I haven't even seen it, so of course I wouldn't.
I went through a bit where I was just going through stuff like the A to Z and you know when it finished, and basically it's kind of like it's kind of like Card Fight Vanguard or something like that. Basically, the whole point is there's this guy and
question, very important: is his hair really crazy?
No,
because all card game animus have to have a protagonist with really crazy hair.
Yeah,
fact.
But there's it's not a guy. I mistake that. It's a girl.
Well, I guess that's an exception then.
Yeah. So basically, there's this chick, Azumi, and she used to be like a top player in this card tournament thing, and then like one day she gets given like this little fucking like device thing that she can use to summon like actual like the cards, if that makes sense.
That sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any other card animal.
I know, right?
She can summon the cards. Holy balls! Real jewel monsters!
Yeah. But they're not actually jewel monsters. They're chicks.
Sorry, Holy Ra.
Yeah.
Would be
so like basically, she can summon like female warriors known as they're like the Fantasista dolls basically, and she spends time like becoming friends with them and fighting battles against like the other guys.
Oh, so it's a bit more like how it goes in Persona then. Maybe.
Yeah, and it's like basically they have their wish granted by the MDA group, which is like the Mutual Dream Association group. Like if they defeat her, but obviously they don't really do that.
Nothing like an NDA where, well, that's
yeah. But she fights alongside him and stuff, and becomes good friends. And there's a few ups and downs about, you know, her being a massive dick on like occasion, and like she loses. Well, like one of them refuses to come out because she just treats them like cards, and she just acts like a bit of a tit, really. And then eventually gets to the point where it's like, well, okay, you know, maybe I should actually not be a knob, basically. So it's good.
So it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially. You
have
have to treat your cards with respect.
It's kind of like
I meant it more specifically in the case I just said, where it's like, you have to treat cards with respect, otherwise cards won't respect you.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty much. It's like, oh, psych.
Wow.
But it is it's a good thing. I think it's only about 12 episodes long. It's a bit of a shame it wasn't a bit longer, to be honest, but I can kind of understand why, to be fair. But you know, for what it is quite cool. But it's only like I said, it's only 12 episodes, so it's about just over 4 hours in total. So it's a little bit of a shame that they didn't make it longer because it would have been good, like with a little bit more backstory and stuff to it. But obviously they decided that that wasn't quite going to happen, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, what can you do?
Huh. Oh, World Trigger's apparently 50 episodes. Didn't know that.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Fair dues.
Because I was just looking around because I was on a mailing list for last season to make sure like we don't miss anything that aired that we want to talk about or anything, which is the topic basically for those of you who don't know. And it said 4 leftovers World Trigger, and I was like, but I looked on Crunchyroll the other day and World Trigger was on there as well. Like, is World Trigger like a long running show? I was like, oh, I guess it is.
Yeah.
According to mailing list, because that's where I look, because Hummingbird is silly and doesn't allow me to view previous seasons in upcoming, which makes sense because it says upcoming, but I'll have to go up to Josh and be like, hey Josh, you should allow me to look at shows based on the seasons they aired, please, thanks.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably just ignore me again.
He probably will.
We need to get Josh on the podcast at some point.
We need to get lots of people on the podcast.
We need to get anyone on the podcast.
Just anybody, like literally go. Even somebody we can abuse.
James, let's just drag James. No. We'll try and get James on at some point because he's supposed to be. To be fair,
God, no.
I need to be fair. He is supposed to be, but yeah.
Don't
that
do
sounds like a show you just talked about.
Don't do it. Don't.
Wow, I'm just gonna.
Don't let Jordan come in.
Don't let me come in. Wow.
No. Fuck you, Jordan. Get out.
Rude.
Don't do it, man. Just don't.
Dave, just stop.
I don't want to.
I'm going too far now.
I'm going too far. I'm always going too far, baby.
That's not a positive thing.
No, that's true. But hey, never mind. So your faggot show this week.
You know what? I'm just gonna pick High School DxD, not season 3, but the previous.
I was gonna
seasons.
say because that's.
I was gonna say it's not finished. I'm
Yeah.
I'm aware, but primarily because it's like pretty much a center of what we usually talk about as like a very obvious show that gets hated because of blatant fan service, which no one can disagree, like just disregard in the fact that yes, there's a lot of fan service in DxD, but the fact that people like class it as nothing but like is really annoying because it's not nothing but it has a story that I actually enjoy. Even if it's all like, oh, it's like a generic shonen show. And it's like, yeah, so's Naruto. So's Bleach. So's any shonen show, really. And people still love those, but oh man, you throw some hentai in the mix, even though it's not, because there's no fucking going on. Just fully exposed, uncensored breasts. And then suddenly, worst show ever, because, like, God. What's the opposite of a homophobe? Heterophobe?
Possibly.
Fuck it. God, I'm such a heterophobe. I can't stand the sight of breasts, even though I'm a man. And because I'm a man, I can't stand the sight of just anime breasts. Like, oh God.
Just
it ruins everything. God. It's like, if it bothers you that much, I would recommend reading the light novels. But because I'm not a faggot and I don't like to read.
Sorry, you're not a what?
A faggot. What are you, a faggot or something? Take that towel off of your chest, kid.
That did make me chuckle.
I know. I love it when subbers just like add shit like that. It's like, what are you, a faggot or something?
Yeah.
Keck.
It's like, what the fuck?
Top kecks.
I don't like it when they do make shit up like that. 'Cause it's like, really? Do you know what? Just fucking go and die.
I like how you're like, yep. You know what? I hate it when they.
Yeah.
You were agreeing, but then you just disagreed suddenly. It's like, wow.
Yep. Nope.
I mean, it depends. It depends on if it's like because you can't really do that literally in the sense of there probably isn't like a specific Japanese word for faggot. You can paraphrase, and that's fine, as long as the context is still the same.
Oh, my days.
If the context is still the same, I say go for it. Especially if it's a show like DxD, where it's not like supposed to be a quote unquote masterpiece. That's like, oh, you have to take everything in the show seriously, and it's like that's...
See, I disagree with that. I think as long as you enjoy the show, regardless of what everybody else thinks, fuck them, basically.
I mean, yeah, you can like whatever you want. I'm not saying don't like it. Just if the show's don't fuck with shows in terms of changing the words drastically to make it funnier, like they did in DxD.
Yeah.
If it's a show that's quote unquote a masterpiece and is supposed to be taken super seriously, for example, fucking unlimited budget works or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably don't do it with that unless you're the guy who I told, hey, you should just add Desu at the end of every line and have all the honorifics be Tan.
I think you did tell me to do that, actually.
I didn't tell you to do that. I told the other guy in one of the group chats I'm in to do it because he was doing subs for it.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, you should do that, and then I might watch it because, I don't know. I just don't really like shows that are supposed to be totally serious. I don't really care much. I like just dumb shit.
There's nothing wrong with being totally serious.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying to me it's not preferable. It's like the argument I had with Damien where I was like, oh mate, fucking Shigeki, best show of the season. And he was like, no, nothing can ever be as good as Unlimited Blade Works. I'm like, I hate that outlook. It's just like, oh, nothing can be better than the one that's got the highest budget. I don't need to go into it anymore. It's like, oh god, this show has the highest budget. Pfft, nothing can beat this, right? This is clearly the pinnacle of anime existence. God forbid humor.
Yeah, that's it.
God forbid I have fun with watching shows.
Yeah, you can't have fun with watching shows.
You can't have fun. What the fuck are you on about? Having fun?
You just can't have fun in general.
Fun's forbidden, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
If you can't appreciate the art that is anime, then you don't deserve to watch it.
It's really.
I mean, that's really most people's outlook, and I hate it.
Yeah.
It's why I love Twin Tails. Because they're just super dumb, but it's also actually got a meaning behind it. It's great.
Yeah. But it is a good. As much as I hate it, I like Twin Tails. Twin Tails is good.
You have to. It's pretty good. It's a fun show. I mean, come on, you can't really hate to admit it when we both like pretty much the same shit.
Yeah.
I hate to admit that we like the same thing, even though it's been previously established that we like the same thing, but we like the same thing.
We do like the same thing, but that's good.
It's good to some extent. It just means that there's a lot less arguing over. There aren't as many viewpoints on certain shows, which is why sometimes we might get James on because he probably has a different viewpoint to us, and that would be shit because James has shit taste. But anyway, but yeah, DxD. It's great. It's hype. James is shit. James is not hype. Unlike DxD.
Here on today's podcast, James is shit.
That's pretty much the whole podcast. But I don't really want to explain DxD because it's one of those shows I just want people to watch. Or at the very least read. Because you can't get distracted by breasts in your face every few minutes. If you're reading words.
Why not?
Just ASCII breasts.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, I'm just saying, just ASCII breasts. That's what they would do. Yeah, watch DxD. Don't be a faggot.
I will be watching DxD, but
I know, I was talking to the audience, but all three people in the audience.
I was gonna say, who was that again?
One of these days, Dave. One of these days.
One of these days. Mitch is actually watching it. Wow.
Mitch, watch DxD. Stop watching your Naruto's for I don't know.
Ever.
Sure. Stop watching in general and swap it out with other shows. Yep.
He is listening though. He messaged me the other day and he was like, "Hey, I sat and listened to this." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. How shit were we?"
Yep.
And it's it's just funny.
Yeah. So that's that weekly deal, I guess.
Weekly deal.
Weekly deal. Did you look at it? Because I did.
No, I didn't.
Wow. It's a show I've seen, but it's a show that I thought was okay.
How... Okay, hang on. Let me go and have a look. I'll see if it's terrible, if I've watched it. Arcana Famiglia. It kind of reminds me of, like, just looking at it, Cars No Stigma. Things are not going well for Lisa.
Really, from what I remember of Cars No Stigma.
Sounds very, very Italian. Oh, with tarot cards. Oh, it's a rip-off.
So what?
I just saw tarot cards and it made me think of
Persona?
Shit. Cloud cards. Like instantly.
Do you not know what a tarot card is?
I know what a tarot card is.
Let me say that's silly. It's a rip-off because it uses cards well.
Yep. Fuck them cards, bro.
I actually can't remember the show very well, which also speaks to how, like, okay it is. It wasn't very memorable. I would say buy it if you want to add to a collection or watch it, because, again, £10 isn't, like, much for a show. So, in that sense...
Yeah, I think if you're just looking to increase your collection, getting every anime online deal is probably not a bad start, because...
I mean, there are some, like Igutosen, which was, like, Season 2, in which case, maybe not, because then you're going to be spending the full price for the other seasons, and it might not be something that you really like. So when it's, like, a sequel to a show or something, maybe not so much. It was part 1 of a show, then it's, like, not so bad. Because then it's not a case of you have to get the rest, it's a case of it's your choice to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't think I'll have... I'd like to have this one, but I'm on a spending ban, at least until August. Sorry, not a spending ban, a minimum spending
Fair enough.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just because I don't want to fucking destroy the chances of me having more money to spend, basically.
You see, because the thing is, it's like, if I ever go anywhere, I'm like, okay, food, maybe some little bits, other than that, I'm set. I'll be like, £200-300, yeah, I'm fine, I'll just spend the rest. It's like, I'll eat out, have some nice food while I'm there.
Yeah.
Treat whoever, just because. Because it's like, when you're going out and, like, you're meeting up with someone, it's like, even if it's not someone you're, like, really close with, it's still kind of nice in the sense of, like, hey, I'm on holiday, so I'm essentially in the mode where I spend all of my money, but you're, like, not, because you actually live here.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll treat you to something, because... It's like when I go to, when I went to Alcon, I was like, I'll buy people drinks. I'm, like, in the mode of, like, I'll spend whatever I have on me now.
Well, that's it. When you take your money with you, you kind of do just go, eh.
Yeah, that's why I spent £70 on my Schwartz cards and barely got half of what I own. Barely a fraction, even. And then I spent £70 on 2 booster boxes. It's true.
70, just spend 70 quid on booster boxes.
I mean, considering I got like 10 packs in a trial deck for £70. Well, so the sleeves and the box I got also. Which reminds me, I need to trade my sleeves for the Nisekoi box that Damien has, that Damien got while he was there. I was like, Damien, I need that Nisekoi box, nowhere else sells it. He was like, well, I wanted these sleeves, and I'm like, I have those sleeves. Let's do it.
It's like, what?
I was like, I have 2 sets of Nisekoi sleeves and a Nisekoi deck, and a Nisekoi playmat, which is fucking still not here, because holy shit, that is like the most problematic thing I've ever had come from America. Like,
what's that? Your Nisekoi thing?
Yeah, because he tried to ship it twice, and both times it said insufficient funds or something like that, which was really weird. Right. And I was like, okay, just send it to my friend and he'll send it, because he's never had any problem shipping to me. He was like, okay, really sorry about this. I'm like, no, it's fine. I understand that post in some places is probably terrible, but over here it's fine, because like I'm on terms with them of some sort, and the fact that A, I have to go there every month probably, and B, my mum worked at the post office, so they kind of know who I am as well. It's awesome when people at the post office know who you are to some extent, unless you're ordering sex toys and they can find out on the custom slip that you're ordering sex toys, in which case it's awkward.
and then you're like,
That would actually be really weird and uncomfortable.
It would be a little bit odd, I'll give you that.
I mean, you kind of have to. There's no really other way. But yeah, the show itself is okay. I watched it subbed when it was airing, so I guess that speaks to the fact that I watched it. Wasn't great. It was okay. Pretty sure the ratings are pretty average as well, so... Well, probably below average, because my standards are apparently way too low.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, compared to everyone else in the world. Like, everyone will be like, oh, this show isn't average, this is shit. And I'll be like, no, it's okay. I'm like, oh, I like this show, and everyone's like, no, it's like average at best, jeez.
Yeah, it's like, really? What
Same with you, I guess, also, because we both like the same shit. Half the shows you like, everyone's probably like, nah, it's shit.
Yeah, that's why we get on so... Probably don't get on so well, because we like all the same stuff. It's like, I'm going to buy this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go buy that too. And you're like, fuck's sake, Dave.
You motherfucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, stop being so fucking selfish, you cock. It's like, I'm so sorry.
Yep. Anyway, I guess we should read this. I think we should read it in an Italian
You can have
accent.
the first paragraph after I stole everything off you last time.
Well, fine. Things are not going well for Felicia. Felicia. Wait, what would that actually be? Felicita. Felicita. That's a really fucking weird name. Things are not going well for Felicita. For years, the island of Regalo has been protected by her father's organization. Now I'm starting to be a bit Jamaican in my Italian. The Arcana Tolaco. 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 Now it's a bit Spanish. Dash Mexican. The organization's success is due in no small part to the members' unusual skills with tarot cards. Not to mention their unusual guns and knives. But now her father is unexpectedly decided to retire, and while the fact that his position will be filled by the winner of the series of duels does not worry Felicita. The fact that he's decided to throw her into the contest as a part of the prize certainly does. Especially since some of the contestants are her cousins, which is keeping things in the family way too much. That was too many accents that were terrible for me to count.
That was, and I get the last nice 2 easy lines. Fortunately, Our Lady Shark...
No, you have to be Italian, you piece of shit.
Ah, damn it. Fortunately, Our Lady Shark has 2 aces up her sleeve. That's more like Polish.
That's more like Dracula.
Yes.
Fortunately, a lady shark.
It will do. As the head of the Swords Division, she's eligible to compete for herself, and with her favourite card, the Lovers, she can snoop into the minds of her would-be suitors, cum rivals. Actually, oh my days.
What?
Oh my days.
Wow.
Wow, I'm not actually kidding, people. It is spelled C-U-M.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Sweet scum.
It would be cum rival. I've never had a cum rival.
Sweet scum. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be one word, but I'm not sure what it would be.
No. I think it's meant to be C-O-M-E. It's just too bad that they have their own card tricks.
Now everyone's going to watch it because of what you said.
Wow. I can't believe that was actually on there. I just spotted it as I was reading it. I was like, oh my days.
And you're like, no, and then you had to say it. It was like a pie just closing in on your face.
What? Kampai?
Kampai! Get it? It's a joke. It's like saying cheers.
Oh my
Kampai.
days.
Hashtag we boy.
Only a few people in the world would find that funny.
I know.
We're 2 of them. The third one's probably Damien.
Probably. But yeah, you did it. That's a show. If it sounds interesting, then...
Godspeed. Wow.
Yep, just wow. So, Topic time. Shows that aired that last season that we liked. You go. Because you're supposed to be the one who watches more things that air than me, I guess.
Why? What shows am I putting out?
Whatever aired last season. That you watched and liked. Or didn't like. Opinions are welcome. Just kidding, fuck you. Your opinions don't count. How is Dog Day Season 3, Dave?
I haven't actually had time to finish
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's really annoying.
I was hoping you would talk over that's why I was like going quieter. But I guess not. Piece of shit.
Don't judge me.
Are you actually gonna like talk about anything there?
What am I talking about?
Shows that this season. Or last season, if you wish to put it that way. Shows like Absolute Duo.
Absolute Duo. Oh, my days, I've not finished that either.
Wow, why don't you talk about what you have seen then? You really fucked up because I even said, like, hey Dave, we're going to pretty much wrap up the season this week. So, I mean, if you want, we could leave it until next week.
Maybe.
Okay, come on Dave, think of a topic on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot now.
I'm on the spot. What topic?
That's what I mean. You're on the spot to think of a topic.
Um. Do you know what? I'm stuck for a topic. Like
always.
I think, to be fair, we need to think of the week's topic ahead when we do the.
Well, we did, but
podcast.
We're pushing it back because of your incompetence. So.
I know.
So now it's on
fair. You. I can't help it. It's not my fault. Don't judge me.
I'll judge you all I want, mate.
Don't judge me. I can't. I'm trying to think of what would be a good.
Here, Dave, start a conversation.
All right. I can't. Oh my days! Why do we always do this?
Why do you always do this? Don't blame me.
Okay.
I'm prepared to talk about shows from this season.
Shows from this season, as in
the one that
season
the
that's
one
just
that
started.
No, the one that just ended.
Okay. So shows from last season. Out of 10, what would you give the selection of shows? Do you reckon?
4.
Like, really?
Dude, there was like nothing really that interesting this season. This was a pretty bad season.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, again, below average. 5 being average. You know, like I said, there are 4 that I finished and 4 that are still ongoing. There's 1 that I haven't started yet because, yeah. And like the ones I did finish, well, I mean, even ones in terms of that I did finish, one of them was a carryover. Testament I enjoyed, and it was fairly good, you know, by my standards.
But not like amazing.
Psychono was the best show, and it like got pushed up to 5 out of 5 because of the Gurren Lagann opening in the last episode. And that just like fucking, I lost my shit. So 5 out of 5 on that. And outside of that, Absolute Duo was underwhelming, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, it was, like, the main thing is, like, Absolute Duo was pretty much the only good opening this season, from what I, like, heard.
I think, to be fair, the best definitely, Absolute Duo was definitely one of the best openings. Like, and the endings as well. They're just so... They're catchy and they're addictive. Like, you sit there and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's... Because the thing is, I think the main bulk of my enjoyment of it was from the opening. Based on the fact that, it's what I would listen to when I was on the bus. It's what I would listen to, like, most of the time. So, this is a really good, hyped-up opening. Even though it's pretty much described as generic shitty shonen opening, I still like it. It doesn't matter if it's like generic as shit. I liked it and it was hype. Fuck it. As long as it's good, I don't care if it's like the same. Just like most people in the world with all types of music.
Yeah, just everything in general.
Nothing's original anymore. Very rare in music is it not the same shit. Like, genuinely. I mean, that's not even a joke. 4-chord songs for a reason and all that. I love the 4-chord songs.
It's kind of hard as well to like.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue against that because it's true, basically. But it's like, other than that, it's like shows that are airing like, World Break is so far okay. Like, the best part that I enjoyed the most was the British guy in the dub being just like offensively British, and I love it when that happens. Shiketsu no Maria I haven't seen enough of. Jolly Judge. Yurikuma, my friend said he didn't really enjoy it, but it was like the only show he'd seen with Twin Tails in, so he was like, I have to vote for her, I guess, because it's the only one I know. Although I didn't really like the show that much. I was like, well, the show seems average. So there's not really anything that stand out, especially in comparison to this season, where you have DxD Born, Soma, fucking Punchline, all this other shit that just seems amazing and I would love to watch. Like, this season just seemed really subpar. So I would give it a 4 out of 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, that I'm aware of, like, really hit show. Like, it didn't even have, like, the SAO2. It didn't even have the Kill la Kill. It didn't even have the Attack on Titan that we've seen in previous seasons.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, the big show of that particular month.
Yeah.
No. Actually, to be fair, Parasite had quite a lot of attention.
Well, I mean, Parasite, I guess, counts to some extent. Although it also
and Log Horizon 2.
Log Horizon 2 has really slipped off, primarily, I'm guessing, because the animation's gotten really degraded a lot. Like, a lot.
You reckon?
Yeah, no, the animation in Log Horizon 2 is, like... Have you seen the faces? And stuff?
Yeah.
It's like in Twin Tails, where all the non-main characters in the TV launch were just really weird, but in the Blu-ray you can really see they changed a lot.
Right.
And it's probably because production was a bit rushed. I mean, even the season prior, there was like Unlimited Blade Works as well, and then this season Unlimited Blade Works and Kinnara Mosaic again, and like I said, DxD and other bits like that. Gunslinger Stratus looks promising. Lupin the Third, which I'm pretty sure, if nothing else, James is probably excited for. There's a new Haruhi type thing. There's more Nisekoi. It's Punchline. There's Plastic Memories, which is apparently like Chobits from what we read. Triage X, which is by the same Triage X from the same guys who did High School of the Dead.
Which I reckon Plastic Memories.
There's that one show that you really want to watch, like more than anything in the world, based on that one manga.
Yeah, what's that?
Yamada-kun, isn't it? Whatever it was called.
Yamada-kun? Oh yeah, in the Seven Witches. That one I really do want to watch.
Yeah, it's like in comparison to like all the other seasons, this one's just been kind of. I mean, this isn't even upcoming. Has like Digimon Adventure Try, for example, which is like anyone who likes Digimon is probably super hyped for because it's like a third season of the original 2, which aired like forever ago. And it's like set in the future with them all in like high school or something, and it's like, wow, that's actually kind of a cool idea.
I am looking forward to it because
I didn't watch Digimon.
I rarely read, and plus, like I said, I rarely read the manga before I before I actually get a chance to.
Oh, you're on about Yamada-kun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was on about Digimon. I was like, what? You were excited for Digimon?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, sorry.
No, keep going though.
But I very rarely get a chance to watch the manga. Watch the anime.
Yeah.
Like after I've read the manga. Normally it's the other way around. Like I'll watch the anime.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And then I'll be like, oh, they've got the manga books are for sale, like near me, for example. So I'm going to go buy them.
Mm.
So it is quite nice that something. I get something like that.
Yeah, it always kind of annoys me though at the same time when it's like different from the manga and everyone's like, oh no, the manga's like so much better. You should watch the manga.
Yeah.
Read the manga. And I'm like, I like the anime though. I like animation. It's cool.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Speaking of Kinora Mosaic, according to the anime chart, it pretty much episode 1 aired like 25 minutes ago.
Really?
And so like episode 2, 6 days, 23 hours, 5 minutes. Was 35, it's not 34.
Fucking hell.
Now I gotta wait for it to be subbed and go up somewhere. Probably be on Crunchyroll though, so I guess I can watch it there. And it's like, yeah. So what would you rate this season then?
I don't know. I mean, I'd put it quite for content quite high, like and maybe a 7 or an 8.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a lot of content. There was quite a few shows. There was quite a few that were long running, like Old Noah, Log Horizon, Parasite.
But you see, you're also counting it as seasons prior, and you're like, oh yeah, because of the carryovers, this season was good, which is like not really a great outlook.
I guess, but I mean, if we're talking about just the season in general, then,
that's pretty much what I mean. Like this season, like what of this season was like really that for you?
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, I liked the seasons. To be fair, I just liked the season in general because you had ones like you had Issaka, which is really good. Quite enjoyed that. Absolute Duo, which obviously I'm watching at the moment. Testament Sister New Devil, Weld Break, Durara, which I haven't finished watching yet.
Apparently that's got a dub on Crunchyroll, which was surprising, going alongside it.
Oh, right.
Because I just saw it and it was a carryover. I was like, why is Durara a carryover? And it said in brackets dub. I was like, huh. There's been no download for the dub, so I guess I have to watch it there. Because I'm
you had like Unlimited Fafnir and Fafnir Exodus, and both of which are still really good. I mean, Exodus is still on a carryover at the moment into this season, but I really, really like Exodus. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, it's just really, really nice to watch, and it's quite good how the story's kind of laid out, and I'm really hoping, because it doesn't look anywhere near coming to an end. I'm hoping they're up for a second season.
Well, I think you might find that what you're watching is a second season.
Yeah, because wasn't it either? It was either a spin-off.
I don't know. It says it's a prequel on here, so I'm just assuming. And then there's a prequel.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a prequel to that. And there's a prequel to that. And then So it's Fafnir right to
Those
left.
are the same guys, yeah.
Fafnir right to left. Dead Aggressor.
Yeah, Heaven and Earth.
Dead Aggressor, Heaven and Earth.
Mark.
And then Exodus.
Oh, that's cool then.
So there you go.
That means I've got shows that I can catch up on.
I think you already do, but
from before, which would be quite nice.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you already have quite a backlog to go through.
Yeah.
As do most people, I'm hoping, because even my plan to watch is like 34 titles. I never go through my fucking plan to watch, though. I'm like the worst. It's like, oh, look, all these shows I plan to watch, and oh, look, a show that just randomly popped up out of nowhere, I'll watch that.
Will you?
Well, I mean, that's how I usually go about watching shows. I don't go into my plan to watch and be like, yeah, I really want to watch blank. No.
Just blank.
As a side note, Defrag dub coming out the 14th. Gonna watch it then. GG.
Yeah.
Yep. Defrag hype. Defrag looks cool. I'm just too lazy. Surprise. At least according to the guy who uploaded episode 1 and 2, but I'm just gonna wait to watch. Because why would I watch 1 and 2 and then wait like 2 weeks? Wait?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Punchline hype though. The punchline hype is real.
Punchline
gonna be best show. Alongside Soma.
Points, lots of points.
Yeah. So are you like gonna talk about anything?
Maybe.
Wow.
What am I talking about?
Shows, I guess. It's your fault that we're in this state.
Yeah, I know. This is terrible. But I think, like I was saying anyway, basically about this season, I know there was carryovers, and it's kind of hard for me to just remember what was carrying over from previous season. I know Your Lie in April was a carryover, but that doesn't kind of take away from the fact of how heart-wrenching and like how decent it was. So I mean, it's kind of hard to like really not.
I mean, it's a case of judging a season just based on the last season. Seems like kind of a shitty way to look at it, really. It's this season was good.
That's not that's not what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's hard for me to judge this season because I'm trying to remember what was actually released this season and wasn't on tail end of
what started off this season on like episode 13 is probably the best way to look at it. Like what finished at episode 25 is like probably the easiest outlook on how to judge.
Yeah, because the episode, obviously episode 25 is, well, just that, episode 25, isn't it? So,
yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, if you give me a second.
I was going to say, or I could just give you this link, and you can, like, base it off of that. And basically
that
anything...
actually works. That's the one I wanted, yeah. So you had, okay, so Old Noah 02 was the winter one. So that's fine, I'm allowed that one. So, Old Noah 0... second one, really good. Doesn't look like it's ended just yet, so could quite possibly get season 3. I mean, it seems to be quite a big hit. Dog Days, I haven't finished that yet, but if it's as good as the first 2 seasons, then yep. You had Issaka, which is one I mentioned before. Junketsu no Maria, which I haven't watched yet. Apparently, I need to. Because virginity.
Wow.
And then you've got Unlimited Fafnir, which is really fun to watch. It's very harem-y, I think would be the best way of putting it.
I was gonna say one thing that's like kind of bugs me in a way is how it's like this show is good because it's a harem.
Yeah, but the thing
it's not good because it's a harem.
No, but I like harems.
I know it's like I like harems, but I don't like harems because they're harems, sort of thing. It's like if you showed me like an anime where it's like I'm a guy, I have like 5 girls with me all the time, and it's just actually really normal. It's like, that was not fun at all. I know what you mean. So it needs the comedy and romance aspect, and not just like, oh, it's a harem, so it's good. It's like I think harem should not be a way to judge a show. It's like, here's a thing.
Don't
enjoy
judge
it.
My harem.
Don't judge a show like based on the harem genre of it. Like base it on everything else. It's like, it's a harem. That means it's like generic and shitty. And then it's like, no, because Seikuno, like fuck you. Sakuno. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, to be honest. Sa-e-ka-no.
Sa-e. Sa-u-u. I mean, like, continuing on from that, you had Well Break, which I really, really enjoyed. It's just a shame that it ended so quickly. It's like they kind of, like, they it just felt like they cut out a really important piece of the series and got rid of it. I still have to finish up Testament of Sister New Devil. I want to watch season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul to see how that goes, because I really enjoyed that. Like,
that's getting a Simul dub.
Is it?
Yeah. Surprisingly. So's Yurikuma. So's Death Parade, so I might watch Death Parade at some point.
Yeah.
Because apparently Death Parade's supposed to be good, so I'm like, hey, it's got a Simul dub, so I might watch it sooner than one would think.
Yeah.
Because it means it's going to be finished in not a year. Speaking of dubs, SAO2 has apparently premiered its dub. So
I'd like to see what their dub's actually like.
Have you not seen SAO1's? Because that might give you an idea, at least.
What, the first episode?
Oh, the first season
of the dub.
Of the first... Like, the first season's been done for a while. And that might give you an idea of what the voices in the second might be, considering all the returning cast and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's apparently started on Toonami, apparently, but that and there was apparently a premiere at Anime Boston or whatever John said. And I was like, John, it's not a premiere if it's already fucking started.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like, yeah, that doesn't quite work.
It doesn't work. It's like, oh no, they're premiering it. Oh, but it started on fucking Toonami like last week. It's like, that is not a premiere!
That's
fucking idiot.
It's like, really?
Yeah, really.
But hey, some people
I know, right?
are nubs.
Fucking dumb people.
Screw these dumb people.
Whoa, ooh,
I didn't say nothing.
Oh well.
I have no idea what you're on about.
Me either. But yeah. Words. Everyone loves words.
Words are good. Wow. Words are amazing. I don't know what you're on about.
Wow.
Words are the best. Best words.
I'm gonna tell you words.
Words. We did this last time. Okay, so have you ever watched Tokyo Ghoul?
No.
Just out of interest. Any particular reason, or was it just meh?
I mean, it's like I saw it and I was like, this doesn't really interest me. I guess.
Really?
Yeah. It was because it was that and Tokyo ESP. I remember we were talking about them, like fucking back at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
And they were like two shows. I was like, oh look, there's Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo ESP. The concept of these doesn't really interest me much.
I kind of liked it. It was a bit slow to get off the ground, admittedly, but it was, it was still good by a long shot.
How long is season 1? Is it just the 13 or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because since there's a simul-dub of season 2, I'm hoping there's probably a dub of season 1. And if there is, I might check it out, but otherwise, yeah.
I mean, it is really... I'm kind of glad I did actually watch it, because I would have regretted... I would have regretted not watching it.
But you didn't watch it, so you wouldn't know if you would regret it.
It was too good not to... Like, it was good. It was good enough for me to sit there and be like, fuck. This is, and actually watch the entire shit all the way through. Just because there was just, it was too good to miss out on. That's why I kind of don't really want to, I don't want to, like, not watch season 2, but at the same time I want to kind of avoid watching it for the moment, because I don't want to, I don't want to give it up having that season to watch like in the future, because I know it will be...
Treeman, don't give it up, Dave.
What? The fuck you want?
Someone will get it. Most people will get it, but you're a loser who doesn't remember the One Piece rap.
Wow.
Even though we had to sing it.
Wow,
well,
Jordan. Why did you do that to me?
Because you said you didn't want to give it up.
I don't want to give it up. But no, I don't. I just don't want to watch it and then not be not be able to watch it again in the future, kind of thing. Like, I don't want that. It's
Also, just as a quick side
note,
note, excuse any lawnmowers going on in the background.
yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, like,
I just
what the hell is
looked. I
going
just
on?
looked over at my Audacity and was like, "Huh, it's picking it up." Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was like, that's fantastic.
Fucking lawnmowers.
Your fucking lawnmower, bro.
It's not my lawnmower; it's someone else's.
Fucking your other people's lawnmower.
Yeah,
bro.
I hate them too. Don't worry, I don't want them anywhere. But yeah,
It's like, why?
I'm eagerly awaiting the day that Yandere Simulator is complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are debug demos out, but the the Yandere Simulator hype is real.
Why would you? I gotta ask. Why would you want to do that?
Why wouldn't, like, Yandere best archetype? So,
Yeah, there is this.
do you actually agree with that? Because I mean, you seem more like a man who would prefer the Tsundere over the Yandere.
Yeah, I'm kind of more tsundere, to be fair with you.
I mean, according to that Facebook thing, apparently I am more Tsundere, and I'm also Tiger. Remember? That's what it said.
This is true.
The question is, would you kill a man?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that not good?
Well, I mean, to most of society,
killing people is generally bad in any way.
Killing people is generally frowned upon, so I would not recommend doing that.
Is it really that bad?
According to the majority of society,
Nah,
society at
wrong.
large.
Society doesn't know what it's on about.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, we have to go by society if you want to not be a shut-in like me. You see, I'm the pinnacle I'm the pinnacle of Yandere because I know that society won't accept me for my murdering ways. So I just stay here. I'm like, no one will ever know. Disclaimer: I don't actually kill people.
No,
just to clear it up, I don't want people to assume that I am actually a murderer.
Faggot. But
getting near my waifu and I think you might start to feel differently about how I actually am. Those yandere traits and all.
That's quite funny.
You won't be thinking that for long, Dave. You won't be thinking for long, Dave.
I just won't. Yeah, I won't have any thoughts whatsoever.
You won't have any. You won't have any head to contain the brain that you would be thinking with. For long.
I have a great brain. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, but you won't have any head where your brain is contained. That's the point.
I feel so saddened.
Are you spooked?
I thought you were going to say spooned. I was like, yes,
Sure, that too.
I'm like, really? That's what you're gonna.
Yeah.
I was like, fine. If that's what you want. If that is what you want, Jordan, then that is what we shall do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Is that what you wanted?
You know what's funny, Dave?
What?
If I didn't spend all my money on figures, I could have had a Cintiq by now.
Why didn't you?
Are you really asking me why I didn't spend all my money on figures, considering you do the same? Or have been doing the same?
Yes.
In which case, look deep inside yourself, Dave, and you'll find the answer.
What, poo?
Yeah. It was because of the poop cave.
The poop cave. Was that not in Bumno Babi?
Well, that's why in Bumno Babi.
Oh my days. Why in Bumno Babi?
Well, That's essentially the question I was supposed to ask at Alcon, but because James was a faggot, and it was also the last question.
Just wow.
It's a scientifically proven...
That's all I'm going to say is wow.
It's a scientifically proven fact that Imbum no Babi. But why Imbum no Babi?
It is a message for the stars. For them to, decide on.
Because you said whatever you said, let's actually move on from whatever. Because that was terrible. And,
it was. Today's been a weird day. We kind of have these little weeks though, don't we? Where it's like, I think a lot of it relates to obviously the season as well, and whether or not we actually get anything out of the season. That's so kind of
it's more so because you didn't actually finish half of the shows from this season.
That's that as well.
As to why we don't have much to talk about.
Yeah,
and the reason why we've had to think of it. Well, I mean, because we can't. Because we already talked about this season that's like starting. And have you actually started anything from this season?
Yeah, I did actually. I started that one show about some shit.
I can't help you think of the name if you're not even going to describe it.
The dungeon one.
Oh yeah. I know.
Which I actually really kind of enjoyed. That was.
So tell me more about that, Dave.
The first episode was kind of, it was a little bit lacking in like any.
So basically, a bit
whatsoever.
like Gunslinger Strauss.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was like a prelude to the whole thing. Kind of like gave you a little bit of a starting base, but like not much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I still enjoyed it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still good.
Yeah, I mean, like with Gunslinger Strauss specifically, it was more a case of like, I guess it takes part in a separate world. Like, separate world, like different dimension, all that nonsense. So it was like, most of the episode was like, I'm in school, here is character things, and then it's like, I'm going to chase after this hologram of a girl who's being chased by holograms of crows. Yep. And then just like, I am suddenly on top of like, in this dangerous factory, on top of this very unstable and broken walkway. And then he falls into something, and it's like, oh, I'm in another dimension, and the dumb girl who was all like, I'm going to follow him because I'm a foolish teenager. Yeah. Also went in after him with his bag, because obviously, if he's going to fall to what would probably be his death, he needs his bag. So...
Need the bag, yo.
I mean, you can't just leave your school bag on a fucking walkway, can you? You have to take it with you when you die. I mean, you have to take your shoes off before you commit suicide, but jeez.
Nah, you don't need to.
No, it's true. It's true. That's what they do in Japan. You take their shoes off before.
Yeah, no, I know.
So you know, dark shit about suicide.
Dark and dark.
Dark and dark! It's like when me and Joseph were doing concepts for the game and stuff, how we pretty much realised that there are 3 just super rad words that we have to use, and that's boost, burst, and buster. For example, Gigaton Killbuster sounds sick, and boost is more so from DxD, and burst is just like used in every title ever. For example, fucking isn't Testament's like sequel's title Burst?
Is it?
I think it is. Hang on. Let me just postpone ABG. It's not spring, it's summer, isn't it? Pretty sure it was summer, because I think it's 2 seasons ahead. Or was it?
Yeah, summer.
Yeah, summer. No, it might be fall. Oh shit, Charlotte airs in summer. Fate Collide Zwei Hertz airs in summer. Why did you take me back to spring? I wanted to see summer. What are you doing? And I was like, Baby Steps 2 is airing in summer. I don't want to look at Baby Steps 2! I literally randomly picked Baby Steps 2 to mention, and it fucking brought up Baby Steps 2. God damn it. I want to see summer, please. Stop doing this to me. How could you do this to me? Okay, fucking there. Is it summer? Because of the fact that you're not actually saying anything, I'm just like, oh cool, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls 2 and Symphogear GX. You see, summer has titles. They have a new To Love Ru, they have a new Symphogear, they have more fucking Ilya for you, they have Cinderella Girls 2, they have Monster Musume, which I know Ben really likes, because he has the mangoes and shit. And they have other titles that look okay. They have more Durarara.
Do you know what? I kind of like.
They have Charlotte, a new fucking PA Works - key thing. Basically, Angel Beats type of stuff. It was announced alongside Angel Beach, which is why I mentioned Angel Beach specifically.
Yeah, you got like the Fate Collide and whatnot. I'm kind of like the other show I wanted to watch is that one Kusan Madoshi, the one by Dio Media, the magic magicians, like the wizards, mages, aerial combat mages, bugs and shit like that. Like that I've wanted to watch since I spotted it, because that was originally meant to be this season, but it's now next season, and also second season of To Love Ru.
Yeah, I know. Like
Symphogear.
Yeah, I know. I've literally said all these because like last season, not last season as in the one that just finished, but the one before that had fucking Trinity 7, one for you. They had Sorano Method, which you still need to watch. Started Shirobako, Psychopaths 2, Twin Tails specifically. You know, Log Horizon 2 started, all this shit, Parasite as well, more Chaika. You know, Grisaya, like I said before, Unlimited Blade Works, like I said before. You know, just all this shit, and it's like, you know,
there's not. I know what you mean.
In comparison, comparing this season to others, it feels like subpar, which is why I was like, 4 out of 10 rather than.
It's missing its main big title.
It's missing a lot of things really, because it's like, whereas all the other seasons also had like multiple like really good and strong titles, this one's like had a lot of okay, sort of not really great, not really terrible, like mediocre titles, sort of thing. It's like Seikno was like essentially my twin tail of, it's considering it has the twin tail of the season according to the votes as well as my own opinion. But it's like my favourite show of the season was Seikno. Last season it was Twin Towers, but at the same time, it's like last season at least had a bunch of other really good ones, like Psychopaths 2, and like Grisaya, and Fate, even though personally I'm not hugely into Fate, but I know everyone else in the world is. Like, Amagi Brilliant Park was apparently pretty much like the other super fun show that I actually still need to see. I only say that because I told Holden that fucking Twin Towers is the best show, and he was like, no, Amagi Brilliant Park, best show. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. Stop disagreeing.
Faggot.
We agreed on Rail Wars, why don't you agree with me on this?
I think, I do agree that what,
it might be
not having its main kind of,
because there's that, and it's the fact that I don't really hear anyone really talking. Also, one that I sort of missed out, fucking Inu Battle was another one of that season.
Yeah.
I had all these shows, and like most of which people would talk about. Like everyone fucking talks about Fate. Like no doubt about that. There was Grisaya, which also everyone talked about. Psychopaths 2, some people did. You know, like those main sort of three people talked a lot about. Terraformers as well. Like quite a few people talked about Terraformers.
Was really, really good.
Yeah, and Parasite I'm pretty sure was another one. But it's like this season, like maybe Death Parade, I guess was one that people somewhat talked about. But it's like even in terms of like shows that people were like actually finger quote the elitist type people who would be all like, oh, fucking Unlimited Blade Works best show, Infinity out of 10, like their budget and all this shit. You know, it's like we didn't have a show this season that was like sort of talked about at all. Because, I mean, everyone's pretty much agreed, like, this season wasn't great for much. Partially because also in the Twin Tail votes, it's like, oh, look, this season wasn't great for Twin Tails. And then it was like, okay, to quote it, wow, this season even sucks when it comes to Twin Tails, ultimate fail season. And it's like, I can agree, because there really wasn't much at all.
No, you had shows like, I suppose, like Twin Tails and stuff, which were good, but you needed...
Oh, no, I mean, like, in terms of, like, Twin Tail characters, like, with the hairstyle.
Oh, okay.
As in, it's like, because we did the vote of Twin Tail of the season, with the Twin Tail... My fucking throat. Hello? There we go, that's better.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
I can hear you now.
That was... I'm sorry, that was kind of a violent throat clearing. Yeah, it's like, there are only 8 Twin Tails, and it was like, there are only 2 that actually have a significant number of votes. Like, Eriri has 35, Lulu from Yurikuma has 21, and then it's a tie between Yulie and Mio, and that's 6. And everyone else is like, there's Rika from Cinderella Girls, which is 4. There's Tear Lightning from fucking Fafnir, which is 2. And then everyone else is 1. And that includes Rebecca Anderson from Dog Days. Who actually is, with personality to boot, an actual Twin Tail. In comparison to, like, everyone else. Is, like, literally, like, bottom of the barrel type of deal. And one of them didn't even have any votes because she was just so shit. And that was from, what was that one show called again? You like, actually, I think I have it listed here. From Isuka. Susure. Susure.
Yeah. It is Isuka, though. Her name is actually Isuka.
No, I mean Susure. Like the twin-tailed one.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, this season's been, like, kind of shit.
It's not been...
great at all.
It's not been it's not been amazing
at all,
really,
in any way,
when
really.
You think about...
For starters, in comparison, is probably, like, the main reason. Because if you're going to give something a rating, you also need to take into, like, consideration every other thing. And, like, on both ends of it, it's, like, subpar.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even really average. Because there's, like, most of the shows were maybe okay. There wasn't really a big hit or anything. Most of the shows were, like, not only okay, or just didn't really interest me personally. So it's like, 4. Which isn't, like, awful. It's below an average. Which is, like, which is partially why I don't really like numbers, because it's like, 4, that must be, like, the worst thing you can give anything, right? It's like, no. Technically, that's just below average, you know? Yeah. Below the par of 5. And then you'll see people give things a 5. It's like, why did you hate it so much? I mean, which I can even understand in the sense of, like, it was so mediocre that it just wasn't really worth it.
The thing is, it's like, I suppose a lot of people kind of want to be want to try and be elitist.
Fuck that!
And then you've got people that want to like shows that people don't like because...
hipster things.
People don't like them. And you're
I mean, to be honest, that's partially how I am with, like, Unlimited Blade Works. I'm like, you know, I get it has a really big budget and, like, everyone loves it, but because of that I just don't really care. It's like, oh hey, biggest budget, best show, right? It's like, no, not at all.
No,
just because
not in the slightest.
It's like, if I watched it and I really enjoyed it, I'd be like, yeah, I really liked it. I probably still wouldn't call it best show because I like to have a thing called fun.
Yeah.
It's like, even if it was a fun show, it's not, like, as dumb and fun as what I love from my shows. Which a lot of people's are like, shit taste. I'm like, no, I consider your taste to be shit. Because you're like, if it doesn't have the big budget and doesn't look like it's the best thing on earth, then it's no good. And it's like, your standards are too much for an actual company to be sustained for long at all. Because odds are, half the people who are watching it, considering, like, did you, even the American release of, like, Fate Zero, I think it was, because it's an Aniplex release.
Yeah.
It was like $380. I can guarantee you most people who love the show have not bought that. And therefore, like, just don't care. It's like, mate, it's like, fucking, how much budget do they have? Probably as much as they can get paid. And you're not really seeming to contribute to that at all.
Yeah, I don't like it when people don't contribute to, like, shows. Like, me and you, we buy a lot of stuff from them. And...
I mean, to be fair, we primarily get, like, figures and stuff. We all, like, buy shows as well.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes. Me, less so, but to be honest.
But we
I'm not
probably
gonna lie about
purchase more along the lines of...
Because, I mean, it's also a case of, like, even me buying one Blu-ray from them, like, from Japan, of the actual show, that's probably contributing more than anything, especially towards more seasons, because they don't fucking take into account how much it sells in the West. They don't give a shit. It's like, oh, Twin Towers sold, like, I think 1,000 Blu-ray sets. Or, like, 1,000 or 2,000, somewhere along there, as Greg said. Because he looked up, like, the numbers and stuff. And Twin Towers did relatively well. And that's great, because as someone who owns the light novel and owns the, like, little concept type, like, illustration book it comes with, there looks to be some interesting shit. It's going to happen. And I want more seasons, because Twin Towers is great, and I loved it.
Yep.
And it's
Twin
like,
Towers is good.
And Fate's probably going to be the same because of the fact that it's not just people, because if people in Japan like it as much people over here, probably going to do well in terms of sales. So, that, and if figure sales contribute at all, then the fact of simply how many Saber figures exist is like instantly contributing to just fucking how much.
I'm surprised. To be fair, I'd be surprised if figures don't.
I mean, obviously, they've got to pay for a license to the show at least, like the license to be able to use and sell. Because it's not because they can't go off of like parody blah blah bullshit, because you can't, because it's not a parody. It's literally like most of them are like, here's an illustration by our concept designer. Oh, that's cool. Like right down to the pose and everything. They'll like copy it, and you can't push it off as parody unless. Even then, if you're a legitimate fucking company, it shouldn't just be all like, parody, lol. You can do this without paying you, lol. But at the same point, I'm not sure if it's a case of like, oh, they get a cut, or if they have to pay up front for a license to use it, or what.
Yeah.
Again, it's like the topic before of like, I wonder how it like actually works, and it would be interesting to see.
To see what percentage of everything people actually get.
Yeah.
You know,
I can understand why, because you don't really want. It's the same with like people on the internet. It's like, oh, how much do you make? It's like, I don't really want to say, because like just because then you're going to be all like, oh wait, you make like a shit ton of money, or like, oh wow, you really don't make money at all. So you don't really want people to do that, because when you know how much like a company's making, and then you're like, wow, you're selling things really expensive. Why are you doing that? It's really shitty of you. You already have like a bunch of money. Like, geez.
But no, not even know how much the company's making, just how much they make on figures.
I know, but at the same time, you can also somewhat base it off of like, oh, because odds are you can find sale figures somewhere.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I mean, it would still be interesting to like, even if it's literally like a rough percentage, it's like, oh, we're actually making 20% rather than 10. But like, just the fact that there are like actual like figures out there, like, oh, here are all the numbers, would be like somewhat interesting to actually see.
Yeah, it would be quite good. I'll admit that.
Yeah,
just to be there and be like, oh, okay, so this, this is how it goes, basically, or like, this is what they do, and it's like, oh, right, yeah, I can kind of get that,
Yeah, because like, for example, I was fucking talking with my friend Brian, who I haven't spoken to in a while, because he literally came up to me like, okay, like, no bullshit, right? Just get straight to it. I fucking need amiibos. Like, you know what amiibos are?
No.
They're like little Nintendo figures, basically. But they have like MFC chips in them, so you use them with like games and stuff. Like Skylanders.
Right, okay.
But they're like Nintendo ones. And apparently Nintendo's being really shitty with like the number that they're releasing. So they're like really limited. And then like people are literally just buying them solely for the purpose of selling them off for literally 4 times as much.
Yeah.
And like he's all like, dude, like really though, they're being so shitty with the release over here, like can I like order them to you and then you ship them to me, because fuck, this is ridiculous. And I was like, sure, if that'll help, then I don't mind at all, as long as you're covering it. But it's just like, it's also, it would also be interesting to see how they go about like their release. Like, do they like really hard limit it? Like, okay, 5,000 of these, that's it. Cut off at that. No more. Each store gets separate numbers of pre-orders, that's it. Like, oh, okay, Army, you can sell like 500 maybe. We'll ship 500 out to all these different stores or whatever. It's like, total of
And
500.
see how many we get, kind of thing.
Yeah, and at that point, maybe re-release. I don't know. That doesn't happen very often. So it's, you know, it would just be interesting to know how like all the companies work. But again, it's understandable why they don't say like, here is everything about our company and stuff, lol.
Yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't, because it is quite
Confidential, I guess, really.
Yeah.
That, and you don't really want people to either think you're A, too rich and too well off, or B, really fucking in the shitter.
Yeah. Because then people start sitting there going,
well, you're making a bunch, why are you selling it for this much when you could, like, sell it for less? Or, wow, you're, like, you have nothing. Wow, that kind of sucks.
Yep.
And then really do nothing other than that, I guess.
And it's like, well, you know what? But hey, you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that is about it.
But we are sort of hitting our little
Yeah, we are pretty
mark.
much on time. So, the first 10 minutes are cut out, but like around 140, 150 is a good sort of cut off. As long as it's a little bit above.
Pee, so...
Huh?
Plus, I really need to pee.
Oh, I thought you were. I was either like, did you say you need to pee, or did you say you have to go get tea? I was like,
No, I need to pee.
Okay, then. That makes sense. I won't let you go.
You're just going to be there going, nope.
Nope.
You ain't going nowhere, boy.
Nope.
I'm like, but Jordan. But like, nope. Jordan. Nope. Jordan. Oh.
Ripping pizza, Dave.
I had a ripping pizza.
What's your favourite pizza topping, Dave?
Pie.
Genuine question, Dave.
Is it?
Yeah, like, what's your favourite pizza topping?
Pepperoni, I think.
Yeah, I like doner meat on my pizzas, but I think pepperoni kind of wins overall.
Yeah. It's definitely the best, I'll give it that.
Yeah. Well, even though I don't really like hot things, like, even the slightest of spice just fucking makes me rip.
Really?
Yeah. Like, oh, peppers, like, green peppers aren't supposed to be spicy or hot. I'm like, bullshit! They are to me!
I can't do spicy food.
I can't. I'm, like, the worst when it comes to spicy food. Like,
I'll
you
eat
think
it,
you
but
can
I'll
handle
be
it,
there, I'll
or
die.
I can handle it even more.
Yeah.
That's me, pretty much. Essentially.
I'll eat it and I'll be like, oh my days.
It's like,
and then I'll die.
it's like I said before when I went to Alcon, I was like, I want this, like, cheesy garlic bread on a pizza base, and they fucking put jalapenos on it. I was like, fucking hate you.
It's like, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Right.
But yeah.
We're going to have to close this up because I have to go out and go and see people for dinner.
Yep, Dave has to go do social life things like a not weeb.
Jordan's not going to do anything.
I have to.
Thank you for listening to episode 13. Apologies for it being a bit bland this week.
I blame
That's
Dave.
Partially my fault.
Mostly Dave's fault.
Yeah, but this is Dave signing out. Goodbye. And see you again for episode
15.
Not
15.
Yeah,
15,
not 14.
And this is Jordan. I'm going to replace Dave for episode 15 just to make him a liar. That's a joke.
With Jordan. With another Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going to replace him with Nadroj.
Nadroj.
I'm also known as Guy Who Is Me, but with the name
Not
spelt
me.
backwards. Yep.
But yeah, goodbye from us
Yep.
at Senpai PP.
Bye.
Toodles.
Nerds.